I told people in relation to even black communities, black money is dissipated. It's not focused. Our energy as a group is not focused on us. So if we focused on us, you can never see, it's a never ending battle as far as what you would call white privilege. It's a never ending battle as far as how we're seen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a never ending battle. And you can, if you're not a majority group, the only way to become powerful is to become a concentrated minority group. We are not that. So that's why everything seems really important to us that's exterior, right? But other groups don't function that way. So,
That's
I'm not
true.
saying don't be offended. Of course we're human. We're going to be offended. But we're more offended out by outward than what's inward. And I think that will forever be a challenge until we look at that. And I think that again, Charlie Kirk was inconsequential. I really think he really was. It took to
He
black life.
was inconsequential. He's not inconsequential anymore.
No, and he won't be forever. This dude,
No,
I'm telling
not
you,
for
this,
black people.
Yeah.
I think he'll still
Mm-hmm.
be inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I
Well,
just think he's gonna be immortalized.
potentially. I'm sorry, Tony.
Go ahead.
That what you said could be true if the white majority doesn't latch on to the ideologies which he most represented to them, which is white men fight back, to find out whether or not if that's going to be really inconsequential to us or not. Because unfortunately,
Sure. There's a
as we are the minority in this country and in an anti-black society, whether or not his absence or the results that cause his absence is going to end up in the ideals that now is being hoisted. Whether that's going to be inconsequential to us is still to be determined. I
absolutely, but the
Right.
reality is that you have either our lack of inward focus, or you have their focus to destroy, or their focus to we've been a minority.
They've
And
always had that focus to destroy us every time we build inward as well. Roads one ain't the
I
only
know,
one.
but
All
yeah,
right,
I got
so
you. But the problem with our youth, the problem with the millennials and Gen Zs, they can't continue to look back. They're going to have to build again. They're going to have to focus again, because the reality is we're all getting older, and all the younger people, what they're doing is inaction. Because when you look at the younger people, you can't just be angry. You also have to have a plan to look inward, and that's something that I think that is going to be important, because you can't, like y'all said, we can't just be anti this administration. Trump is one administration, um, and one
And he's
blip,
even in
one blip at
charge.
the moment of time. So um, we can go through Obama's. I voted for Obama. We can go through Obama and find flaws. We can go through Biden and find flaws. But I think ultimately, um, we're going to have to start to look more inward. And at the end of the day, look at people like a Kirk as, I mean, if some, like you said, it's to be seen. If there's a
He's a Rush.
concentrated effort,
He's
and
a
I
Rush
see
Limbaugh, bro. He's a Rush Limbaugh, a less intelligent version of Rush Limbaugh. That's
of course,
all.
yeah,
It's Rush Limbaugh. I take Rush Limbaugh talking points, I put them in the AI, and I come out with new talking points. Like that's the
correct.
essence of Charlie Kirk.
He's nothing
He
new.
just it's nothing new. The challenge I have is looking inwardly at my people who love Donald Trump and give him more credence than they give Barack Obama, who love Donald Trump so much that they'll look at a Charlie Kirk, and this is from people that I know who say that this dude was more important to them as black people. This is real talk than that Dr. King could ever be. Like these are the statements that he's made, and I'm watching even now. I just unfollowed a Christian rapper because he was like, "Yep, it's come out that this dude had a trans girlfriend, a trans boyfriend. This is all the leftist movement." It's not a leftist movement. It's the act of an individual who had an issue and who was trained well under Second Amendment rights to shoot from 200 yards with a bolt rifle.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though, Tony. My thing is that I feel you. I think one of the things I see in our community is that we we have to be a monolith to build together, and that's what kind of scares me a little bit. So for me, I honestly think that you will have people who like Donald Trump, and one of the things that's disturbing to me for Black people is that you know it's almost like you're either Trump or you were Harris, and at the end of the day, you have that in all groups. We feel like we have to be a monolith to build and work together, and at the end of the day, if you're talking about white America, which we always talk about, they're not a monolith either, and they still will come together for the sake of whiteness if they need to, and if that's something that they want to. So I think for Black people, I think we need to start saying to ourselves, and I'm just saying that we need to say, you know what, whether you however the spectrum is of how you feel about Charlie Kirk or Donald Trump or whatever, yeah, it might be disturbing to you. We may not understand it, but we need to put, if we're radical, like you said, Ian, if that's where we're at, or we're uh, community focused, we need to put our focus on us first, and then those political beliefs second. And I think that we have trouble doing that because we're like, well, how can you like that, that person? You know what I'm saying? And I think that the spectrum of liking him or not liking him all comes down to the things that you've heard. And most people haven't. Maybe if everybody did the same research and was presented all the same movie, then that maybe everybody would say, okay, I feel the same way. But unfortunately, we all aren't looking at everything the same way. And that's why you do have the reason why some black people like who they like is because they pick what they like and they discard what they don't like. And that happens with Donald Trump. And the same thing happens. I try to explain to people the same thing happens on the left. People pick what they like about Barack Obama and ignore plenty of things that they don't like. They ignore the fact he went into Libya and they killed Muammar Gaddafi. They ignore that,
Assassinated.
right? They ignore the deportations he did because they like him. I like him. I like the first family. They're the first Black family. Anything they did that doesn't fit my image, I'm just gonna ignore. And the same thing. So it
I
happens
love
on both
them.
sides. It doesn't just happen with Donald Trump. It happens on the left too. So I say that to say that we have to be able to be like, you know what? Okay, cool. You like who you like, but do we have the same goals as a community? And I think that's where I think Black people get tripped up a little bit more than everybody else. I could be wrong, but that's
I
my
think I think that's an issue not specific to just Black people with regards to who the political parties that they choose to align with. They become Ray Charles to all the negative stuff within their own party. And
yeah.
for example, if you, I mean, being that you're talking about Black people in particular, I'll say this: if we're if you ask a Black Democrat to list all the racist uh, white, Republicans, they will list you a whole bunch. If you ask a Black Republican to list a whole bunch of racist white Democrats, they'll list you a whole bunch. If you ask a Black Democrat to list racist white Democrats in office, they can't list you any. And the same with the Black Republicans. They become blind to we. The one weakness that I see with Black folks in particular, that whatever subgroup that we get aligned with, whether it's LGBTQ or Democrat or Republican or Christian, Muslim, whatever, we become that first before being Black. We're a gay Black man. We're a Democrat Black man. We are a Muslim Black. We're all these other things first and foremost that takes precedence and are more important than our Blackness. And that's part of the reason why we don't have. That's part of the reason of the disunity within our communities, and because I mean we have idiots like the Tariq Nasheeds and whatnot out there who I you know destroyed in a debate on his own freaking Twitter thing with his freaking FBA nonsense. Um, and it's something that I gotta say, he trademarked this shit so he can make fucking money off it, and then black folks are drinking this shit like freaking Reverend Ike water. It's just bullshit. But you know, I hope, brother Kojo, that you're right with regards to Charlie Kirk being inconsequential to black folks in this country. Individually, yes, he's inconsequential to all. We didn't give two shits about anything. But overall, generally, hopefully it doesn't reawaken making more over the covert racists that's been, just chilling, and now they all woke and they feel like this is their time to fight back now.